Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about my May pickups. This is the last 3 months of stuff, so this isn't like I just got this last week. And it's kind of fun to show what I've got. I did ship my BBTS order. No, I did not pay $1 additional in tariffs. Yes, some of the items they've always overpriced by $1. So I'll get into talking about all of this. And with that, I do these videos so you can kind of see what's out there. What am I finding? What am I picking up? And what prices am I paying? What am I finding on clearance? And what do I kind of wish I would have waited on? So a couple things I wished I would have waited on because I think they're going to go really cheap down the road. And in hindsight, having them in hand, yeah, I wish I would have waited. But let's get into taking a look at this. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps you in your collecting because all this stuff is more or less modern or retro versions. Coming up. Alright, let's start with G.I. Joe. Let's try to reduce the glare if it's possible. And Fatal Fluffy looks really good. Nice big figure. For the $20 price, I don't think that that's bad at all. I like that. We also have, in that wave, the Raymar. One thing I like about getting this at BBTS is you get them unpunched. And so those are my keeping carded because they come unpunched. If you got them at Target, they're punched. I mean, all the ones that I've seen that came from Target were punched. So this is a big win getting it from BBTS. Regular price, nothing, no upcharge on those. This wave is awesome. Love the Wild Bill, and I did get two. I'm gonna eventually open one, but I'm curious though because I always see reactions once reactions have been opened, and like a couple years later, people generally sell loose ones for really cheap. I don't know if that's going to be the same thing with these O-rings because they're so wildly popular. O-rings are wildly popular, so that might be something we don't see them getting clearanced out. So anyhow, I like this Zartan. It's really cool. Really, really awesome. I hope they do the rest of them. I will buy every one they make in duplicate. So please make the rest of those Super 7 and Snake Eyes. Now this one still doesn't look exactly like what we want for our version 2. Still got a little bit of blue to it. So they're probably going to ease in. They're probably going to milk Snake Eyes like crazy. I don't think it's a bad looking one. I actually think it does look pretty good. And I don't mind because I have the original. So it's not a big deal to me. And it's fun to have it carded. And then we have Duke and Serpentor. Now I do have these, but both of mine have punches in them. So those are the ones that'll get opened eventually. I do like these figures, and I like what they're doing with O-Ring. Really works really well. Let's keep that up. That's all I really got for Joe in this shipment. Notice, no classified this shipment. All right, next up we've got some, is it Jax? Yeah, Jax making these. And these are normally $13 figures, but these are deluxe with extra parts and pieces and stuff, make it $25. And I passed on them at GameStop, even though I had like a $5 off deal at GameStop to get something else $5 off. And looking at this, I'm realizing that these showed up at Target, and I like that you get 5% off with the red card, but there was a deal on my circle. If you spend $120, you get $20 off. And I was like, well, this is definitely going to put me over the 120 with everything I bought that day, so I got them. Not bad look. I like the burns. So that is cool. I almost wanted to get a second one. That casket he's in, that is awesome. Saw a casket recently that looked just like that. I was like, that's interesting. Interesting stuff. And then there's Homer. Side of the box. The back of the box. Don't really know the story behind, Furious Homer and Vampire Mr. Burns, but I'm sure they were good episodes. Got the entire wave of the Super Friends. I am so behind on everything. All the hundreds of figures that are getting made that are in the 66 Batman scale style, which this is the scale and style of that, but got these at Target, the whole wave, but not on the same day. I got these two the second day. And so I'm keeping the receipt. Let's adjust this. Keeping the receipt for these guys so that if I happen to come across another one of those deals and I need to get over that $100 mark or whatever, I'll just bring it back in, add it to the stuff that I'm buying, and they'll adjust it for me. Or at least most people will. You got to catch the right person, I guess, to get that. Sometimes they'll say no. I mean, sometimes they've said no to me once on that, but the rest of the time they're usually pretty cool about helping me with the circle deal. But Sinestro, I'm not exactly sure the story behind this, but my son, who quit collecting toys because he's too cool as a teenager, pointed this out to me, that this has this platinum edition on it. They said because if they didn't do that, nobody'd buy it. Make it a chase figure, everyone's going to want it. Don't make it a chase figure, nobody'd buy it. Maybe he's right, but I'm going to put these back in the bag with the receipt. Hopefully I can snag me a deal on another circle offer. And there's not much stuff showing up, so you have to. It may take 3 trips to get yourself to $100 at a Target these days. But here we go with these guys. I do like this one. It's I believe this is the Lex Luthor. There's no names or nothing on it. You're just supposed to know. You're just born knowing what this stuff is. Is this Bateman? Bateman. Oh, Batman? Okay, I got it. Batman. Adam West. Good old Adam West. A friend of mine was really upset that he missed out on getting the autograph, or just getting to meet Adam West in person. He really wanted to, and canceled on this last Comic-Con, and then he passed away. That really sucked. But Green Lantern looks good. These figures look great. I know they don't have quite the articulation most people would want, but I think they look fantastic. And I'm not an articulation buff, so I'm A-okay with it. $20 each. This is where I should have waited now. I didn't know this when I ordered these and I shipped it, but McFarlane has these two, which I think it's like 20 and 30, so I think that's 50. For $70, you get the whole wave of figures in addition to this. On sale, $69.99. Plus you have to pay their shipping of like $7. So you're going to be 80-something bucks. But the wave of figures is sold out. So the only way to get the wave of figures that I see is to buy these two and the wave of figures as a deal on McFarlane.com. I'm debating it. I mean, I can't send these back. And at the end of the day, I don't really want to, but I wish I would have waited, or I wish I would have done that a little bit different, because the Black Manta looks closer to the first Black Manta. Anyhow, I'm still happy I have them. Just wish I would have acquired them a little bit different and got the figures too. Not much on the Masters of the Universe front. All I have is this, and it's Modulok? Modulok. Yes. The big old yellow sticker, Modulok. It comes in a shipper so that the internal box stays good. I love that. Made in Vietnam. And they have 3. I had 3 on my pre-order. I went down to 1. There's still plenty to get there. It's not selling out. In fact, almost nothing Motu sells out. There are a few select items that occasionally sell out, but it seems like I'm going to play the long game on everything else Motu going forward. Except this guy. I had to have 1, and then down the road pick a couple more up if they go on clearance. This is one of those you can like make a human centipede in a line. If you watch the channel, you know I really don't collect Marvel, but I do pick up stuff that I like. And I got the ROM. Well, more or less, people made a big deal about ROM. I actually started digging in and looking into the history. It was just like one toy, one ROM figure that was like 15 inches tall or something. And to have that and just included into modern scale and something that everybody can have. I mean, who really needs a 15-inch one in the modern scale? If you want a 15-inch one, go get the original. But I'm glad they made this. What else is in this wave? Absolutely nothing else I need. I have a version of Wolverine that looks like that already that I got from a CT Toys version. But he comes with his own comic book. I'll eventually open one of these and check it out. Did get it for the usual price is like $1 more at BBTS, but that's their usual pricing, and I understood that when I bought it. Now these are up to like $28, so they're charging $28 for these on BBTS if you want one, but they're still there. The only lonely Star Wars item I got was on clearance for $12. They had like a dozen of them there or something. They're probably all gone by now because people love clones. But I figured grab one just for fun. And I'm not gonna lie, when this packaging came out, I was so obsessed with trying to complete the vintage run that all I cared about was vintage packaging, and they had starved us of vintage packaging. So, like, I have no sentimental value to the packaging, and I think that very few people do. But looking at it right now, I can appreciate what they did with the packaging back then and what they're doing with it now. So it is kind of cool. It is more interesting to look at, like 1,000 times more interesting to look at. than what they did when they made this same figure on like Archive. Archive? Is that what they call that? That boring packaging they put them in? The reissues. Anyway, Cody. Next up, we got some Transformers. This is all the Transformers I bought at retail. Most of my stuff comes from Show Z, so that's my Transformer collecting. But I am going to build this Devastator. Found it at Target, and it was 25 bucks. And then you get 5% off for your red card. Not a whole lot of discount there, but it will be... I'll save it in the receipt, like with the other stuff, and go back when I get another one of those 25 off 100 or something off of 75 or whatever. And that's how I play that game. All these specials and $10 each, which strange, I'm surprised that's not like $6 or $8. $10 each. But the thing here is that I got like something in the mail saying 10% off. And so I got 10% off of that. So they were 18 bucks for the pair, plus tax, of course. Not bad. Thought about getting a second Perceptor. I'm just not sure. They had cases of these. It wasn't like there were only 3 left. I'm curious how long it will take for them to sell through these. But I never saw him at Walmart. If I did, it was just a few and they sold. But pretty interesting. Playing the long game has paid out. Paid out? Paid off? I don't know if you call this Holothon, but NECA stuff that is going on. And I'll start with the Walmart. I got this. So, Beetlejuice from the new movie. Yeah, I know, Michael Keaton, blah, blah, blah. Baby Beetlejuice. My wife and kids went to the movie. I did not go watch the movie. I'll watch it when it comes on one of the streaming services or something. But a pretty cool looking figure. It's in his regular garb, his usual clothes that you would think of. Beetlejuice. Only Beetlejuice thing I need to buy ever, I guess. And there he goes. So, got it at Walmart, though. But some of this turtle stuff, I really didn't know much about this guy, and I'm buying very few Turtles items, but I thought he just looks amazing, and the really amazing sculpt, just making it look like it walked out of a cartoon. It's so hard to pass on this. There's a couple others that look really good too, but I'm passing on them, especially those price points. 35, it's a lot of plastic for 35 bucks, and then we got a shredder. This shredder looks amazing, and I did order it from the website with red card free shipping and 5% off, but looks better than the first one. And the first one I thought looked great, but then I was comparing it to the cartoon and thinking they could have done better on it, but it still was the best shredder in existence at the time. And so now this is the best shredder in existence. First one, though, isn't bad. This is just an improvement. And I think it's a little taller. And I think the biggest improvement is a little taller, but the head sculpt is way better, and the coloration of it is way better. And then getting into the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Haha. Featuring the number 2. And there's a receipt, so don't lose it. Because he will be helping me get to that mark. Now, I don't know if they're going to do the NECA stuff with those coupons. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But anyway, how you slice it, I'm going to figure out. He's going to be part of getting the 20% off or something, 20 bucks off or something. Looks great. I like the accessories that they put in there, the cape. I mean, this is fantastic. And I'm not really big into Sesame Street. I will probably get him and Big Bird and then call it quits. I passed on Bert and Ernie. I saw him several times. Thought it was actually pretty easy to get those, and that's good to make those accessible to fans and collectors. But I didn't want them or need them. Although they were fun to look at and kind of cool. I don't need every character. I don't need an Elmo. I don't need anything else. But a Big Bird and account and call it a day. What do we have left? And are we losing it? This is Tigra from the Deluxe Super 7 Ultimates, but Deluxe, and it is an Ultimates. And here's the original one, and I guess we don't really get to see the feet. I'm eventually going to unbox one of these and have a look at it, but since Brian don't want me doing reviews, so he's not sending me stuff, I mean, I'm a bigger shield than Veebs. Hook me up. I like the blues on this way better. I like everything about this one better. You have the elbow pad which, I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's hard to see in here, but he has the elbow pad. Should have been right here. I don't know how. I don't even think the elbow pad itself is... Oh, they didn't paint it. They didn't paint the elbow pad. They didn't paint his elbow pad. They make a big deal about it, and then they don't paint it. Anyway, it is reduced paint apps on this one, but it looks pretty good. You don't have all this dirt washing. So there's no dirty wash on this guy. So, all right. Anyway, if you want a Tigra, this is time to pounce on a Tigra. This is the Light Up Eyes Lion-O, and very expensive, $65. I went ahead and bought one because specialty kind of item that maybe it sells out. Maybe I could come back and get another one for 20 one day. I don't know. Is that how the world's going to work? Maybe. Since these are in stock and completely unaffected by any modern issues. And there's the Light Up Eyes. Now, they are charging more on BBTS for these guys. But they honored my pre-order price. That's why I kept them. Or I would have dumped them. I would have said nope. I would have canceled. Like I canceled a few other things. But I think they look great. The light up gimmick is probably going to be kind of fun. I don't even know if I'm going to open them, though. So there's a problem is that I usually keep one sealed and keep one to open. So everything I've got sealed, and I've got an opened one. And then they do come with slip covers. And I'm glad the slip covers can slip off nice and easy. And I can store them away and protect them. But there's not going to be able to display them unless you take the slip cover off and then do something with the slip cover. So I don't really care about slip covers at all. And we've got some Thundercats here. So how am I going to do this? Let's start with the Burble Bill. Now I think this opens the door and the floodgates for Bert and Bell. So I expect to see them. They are significantly larger than the original ones. I guess I can grab an original one. Here's an original one so you can kind of see how much bigger he is than an original one. It is almost twice the size, about twice the size. It is huge compared to it. The color's different, matches the animation more. And I want to say that the Bill one, when you watch the show, there's a lot of just random unnamed burbles, just standard ones, and they look a lot more like Bill than anyone else. They will help you build your home. Unfortunately, Snarfer's readily available, easy to get at BBCS in stock. I even think they're still charging the normal $55 price point. But I was thinking there'd be a way to sub them for Snarf, and he is significantly smaller than Snarf. So 20% smaller than Snarf. I don't even think you can swap heads with the Snarf head to put on Snarfer. But I think a lot of people were hoping that they could make this into a Snarf. If you were upset about spending $55 on Snarf, then you are beyond angry at spending $55 on Snarfer. There is almost nothing in this package. This is like something that you feel like it would be $10 in the store. I mean, the accessories, there's a lot of accessories. You wouldn't get that with a $10 figure. But, I mean, the amount of plastic in this, man, that's crazy. That's like one finger of Unicron. Then we've got the Thunderian Guard, which no rhyme or reason to why some have a plastic wrap on them and some don't. No rhyme, no reason, but he does look good. Thunderian Guard looks better than I thought he would. I like him. Gets the job done. Yeah, pretty good stuff. He's one that might be a troop builder. I might regret not troop building him when he sells out. That's the problem. And I might not find another deal anywhere. So it is what it is. They've upped the price of BBTS on Thunderian Guard. And then we've got Claudus. They honored my pre-order price, but then when they came in, they added $4 or $5 to it. Claudus, Lion-O's dad, looks good. Just fantastic looking figure. And it matches the animation from what I've seen. I don't know if they didn't show him a whole lot in the show, and so my memory is serving me that this matches really well. Plus, he comes with this nice accessory here. So there's really some cool stuff they did with this figure, and they put his picture on it. Like, not all of them have their picture on it. Snarfer doesn't have his picture on it, but anyway, good looking figure overall. I do have a problem of buying stuff because it's on clearance, and I think it's okay. I think it's kind of cool. It's $9. I would have bought the whole wave and built this Zeus guy well, not the whole wave. I don't think Batman came with one, and you needed, but they only had a Batman, and then they had this girl, and they didn't have the rest of these figures, which actually the rest of the figures are kind of cool. I would have picked them up on clearance, not the regular $30 price point or anything. But yeah, kind of cool to get this back roll, and $8 isn't bad. All right, we've got Biker Mice bikes. They look great. I know everybody wants Vac Metal for $46. It's a bit on the pricey side considering how well priced the figures were for what you get for the size and scale, and it being a boutique type. But I expect these to actually go on sale down the road. I just want to know I got them. So I've got mine, got them, crossed them off the list, and then if they go on sale, I can go hog wild and open them. And I've almost got room to display them all. They're bigger than I thought. So I want to put this out there. They're bigger than I realized till you get them in hand. They look fantastic. They look fantastic. Let's get a little bit better look at each one of these. You get the hot dog, you get the blast effects, and you get it looking like it's got some burnout going on. And it's got the little mouse thing back there. And yeah, the one thing is, will they be chrome? Will they do them again in chrome for a special SDCC or something? I do not know that answer. I do not know. There we go. And we've got this one right here looking pretty good. And I like the look of them. I do like the look of them. But people want the chrome. Look like something, an accessory slipped out here. So, not perfect. Not a perfect world. Not a perfect world. And then there it is with the Radical Sled, Vinny's Radical Sled Rocket. And the packaging looks very much like vintage. And actually, it's such a good one that if you're looking this up online, you might accidentally buy this thinking it's an original. Even though you're not going to see any chrome anywhere. This piece is chromed on the original. That's chromed. These are chromed and sticking out of the side, not like that. So I think these are much better looking than the original ones. But yeah, I would have rather have chrome. And we got the glow-in-the-dark of Decion. It's Decion. It's pretty cool. People like Skeleton Warrior kind of things, skeletons. This is what Super 7 does best, but not jack it up by $10 by making it glow-in-the-dark. They should keep it the same price, and they've already got the tooling, so you can add a little bit extra glow-in-the-dark and call it, and still keep the massive $55 price point. The thing is giving us Decion, giving us these characters, giving us those demons, and giving us stuff that most companies wouldn't mess with early on. But Super 7 does right out the gate. And so, another thing, big Super 7 shill over here, we got Decion. Whether the line ends tomorrow or continues, we've got a Decion in existence. I would love this line to go fleshed out, 30 characters. I don't think it's going to go that far. I think it's going to go 4 or 5 waves and be done. And I'm in for duplicate of 4 or 5 waves. But this is a nice way to duplicate it, have a glow-in-the-dark. But I haven't even tested how well it glows. Should we do that? So this is my look at my May pickups. It's probably going to be 3 months till I make another video like this, because I based it on when I shipped my BBTS order, which was $4 shipping, and then they charge you the tax and all that. But we'll see. I might not have a very big BBTS order in the future. It might be a big BBTS order in the future, but let me know if this helped you guys out, if you learned anything in here, if any of this, oh, wow, that's a good deal. I didn't know that they had that going on, and that's why I make these videos. So let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Twitter and Hanger out.